Welcome back to the PAC Sports Network for our halftime show as we're at the break between Hiram and Geneva. And we now have the pleasure of being joined by the head coach of Geneva women's basketball, Coach Michael Grinder. Coach, first off, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Diving right into the early part of the season, just how's this early first month and a half, 2 months of the season been for you and the group?
Well, thanks for having me. The first half of the season has been with a younger group because we have a predominantly sophomore freshman roster. They're steadily getting better each game. Obviously, we've already played like 2 conference games, one at Grove City and one at Allegheny. Grove City game, we stopped playing the last 3 minutes, and a lot of it had to do with just the young kids were trying to figure out how to play at the college level when we were playing down the stretch. And in Allegheny, we played them back and forth. Didn't help that we spot them like 15-point lead and had to crawl back into it, but it's helped us out because we've needed some holes filled in our freshmen. Like about 4 or 5 of them are stepping in to like help us out in areas where we need them. So like they just keep getting better. That just helped us out like where we're at now.
Well, you certainly played a tough non-conference schedule to begin the season, including a nationally ranked Mount Union team. How do you feel that tough non-conference schedule is going to help out for PAC play down the stretch?
Oh, it helps. I mean, like seeing Trine early, going to play Mount St. Joseph's, who like played, in the finals last year of the Heartland Conference, and then seeing Mount Union, who's gotten really good this year compared to last year. I mean, it's one of those things that helps you out as you go because you're not going to see those type of teams outside of like a few of the teams in conference every time. So like it preps you as you come in. Like, hey, look, we've seen these type of teams and you've competed against them. And, we had a chance out of Mount St. Joe's to like get them on their home court. And, it's just what it was. It's just basketball. It happens late. Sometimes you make your shots, sometimes you miss. But it definitely helps you as you get into like the bulk of the conference now.
Well, obviously, that's certainly, like you said, a good way to kind of prepare for a tough conference schedule coming up this year. But diving into some of your team, I know you return a big piece from last year. Emily Garvin, not only your leading returning scorer, the conference leading returning scorer, but how have you seen her grow as a leader from last year to this year, especially like you mentioned, having such a young roster across the board?
Well, she took like a year off coming in from Grove City because of the conference transfer rules up until last season. When now we can just transfer whenever we feel like it. So coming back in, she was trying to get a feel for what we did, how we did it, because she wasn't around us. Like she just played soccer and ran track, and then now she jumped in full steam last year, and this year she's evolved more into a leader. She's more vocal. Like the group in general just self-organizes itself. It does stuff, and a lot of it just has to do with her and some of the other pieces on the inside of the locker room where they're just leading as a group, and we just check in, see how they're doing, and it helps us out because she'll say it, and she's vocal, but she also leads. You can tell by how she plays. Like she leads out on the floor by example, like how she plays every night, like hard. Put her on the floor, you know what you're going to get every night. So it definitely is like taking a step for us, and she has too.
Well, Alexandra Cousins has also been one of those other kind of leaders, if you will, but she's been a nice force down low in the post and has already picked up a couple double efforts as well. How does her kind of rebounding style help out with your up tempo pace of play and kind of complement the style of basketball you guys play?
She reminds me a lot of Dryberg at W&J. If the last couple of years, like a forward, but really a guard forward, can like post up, go outside, inside, get a rebound, push the ball up the floor. Like it makes it easy on us. Helps that she also played softball, so she has the arm to like throw the forward pass when we need it. Someone's open. So like those things, like you have to factor in a lot of stuff. She's a really good athlete. I mean, after what she had, like 2 knee surgeries on an ACL on the same knee, and she still is just like playing like at a high level. And she produces. I also look at her too, and it's like you're only a sophomore. And I don't know what the next couple of years are going to look like as you go through this year and next year, your junior and senior year, like how much more you're going to develop and take off. So it's just a constant, like she just helps us out in a lot of ways. Like the athleticism covers a lot of mistakes when we press because she can pick off like bad passes. And again, like you said, like she can grab a rebound and she just pushes. Like she can push it and outlet it or bring it up the floor for us. So it helps.
How have you noticed her and Anna Ulmer kind of pair with one another and complement each other, especially with how much length that gives you down low in the post?
It's unique because we don't play like a traditional like back to the basket game. They both can post up, but they also have the ability to square you up and like shoot from the outside and take you off the dribble. So it like complements each other. Alex is a lot more physical in terms of just how she plays with the athleticism. Anna is sometimes the soccer style of her defense gets in the way after coming out of soccer season, and she just bulldozes people. But it's really funny. It takes her a few games to get used to it again. But Anna does help out, like in games where that length 6'2". We just keep telling her to put her arms up in the air. She'll just block shots because they'll just throw it into her hands. She just picks up a few block shots like throughout like contest by just being there. And the way she plays, it complements Alex because having two bigs, well, really, we have like four of them now, with the other two freshmen that are in the door that can like go inside out or outside in. It just allows us to space the floor a lot easier and do a little bit more with what we do.
Now, also sticking with the underclassmen, you have two at the guard position that have been really good in Ariana White and Cassandra Garcia. What
Yeah.
has stood out between those two and that have allowed for those two to etch out the role that they've had thus far?
Ariana's more of a defensive type minded person. I mean, obviously, she comes from the great state of Louisiana where that's all they do is play hard defense on each other and beat each other up on a nightly basis. And the offense is coming along. Like, she's really quick. She runs track for us here at Geneva. Like, she's a sprinter. So that takes a huge, like, you can tell the athleticism's there as she plays. And she's just fit the role. I recruited her in as a sixth man, and that's sort of where she's fitting in. She can spot start for us when we need her. Cassandra Garcia just has like a lot. Like, there's a lot there that's going to keep coming. Especially, she's a freshman. She shoots the ball really well and plays some good defense. We're just trying to get her a little bit more aggressive off the dribble, like Ariana. Ariana is like overly aggressive off the dribble. Cass is the other way. She's like standing outside and chucking it from like the volleyball lines. But hey, if they start going in, I'm not going to say anything. So, one of those. But they do have they complement each other well. Even though they're undersized, they use their quickness to their strength. They both do different things really well with each other.
And then obviously having Aislinn Thompson as that deadly 3-point shooting kind of rounds out the offensive unit really nicely. But you always hear about shooters wanting to expand their game. Where have you seen her game kind of take a step a little bit beyond or a little bit maybe even inside of the 3-point line?
She started to add a pull up, which we've been on her for like last 2 years. And we've asked her to do other stuff, but we're like, well, we got a pull up out of her. We'll take it. So, like we told her, like, look, you're lefty. We know how lefties are. You have right arms, but you just don't use them because you just guys drive left. You ladies and guys that are left-handers, it's just left all day, every day of the week. She's been really good at like adapting each year a little bit more and more to like, okay, they're gonna run me off the line. What do I have to do? And now she has a pull up, helps her out. The one thing we're working with her right now is to like move better without the ball, like how to use screens, come off screens. I mean, I showed her last year because that's all I did when I played in the Balkans that was season was just move without the ball, and it takes a lot. Like it's not an easy. You can wear yourself out playing offense and defense at the same time. But she's slowly, steadily getting better in that area. We just hope like by this time now, as we're in the second half of the season with like conference running, it just starts to progress more and more on the backside of conference.
Well, certainly you have another wonderful and fun group with the offense that you play and another up-tempo group this season. But, Coach, before we let you run, and as always, appreciate your time, but what do you think it'll be and what key do you think it'll be for your team that will get your group back to a PAC title and make a really deep run in the conference this season?
I think it's really what it comes down to, and, you talk to all of us in the conference. I think it's just like the total like buy-in of being all in on every possession, like offensively and defensively. I think we're a little different because we press. So obviously we're going to give up more points because, you trap and you rotate late and someone's got a layup down the floor. And they flip out sometimes on me when we're like in it. And I'm like, no, it's okay. We're going to give up like 8-10 points on the press. Like it's just going to happen sometimes. But that total buy-in, because we do play like 95 feet. We full court press. We get after people. We have like matchup zones we use throughout the year. We'll just throw them in there. The offense is the offense. It takes care of itself, and it's always evolving because like it's conceptual. I just come in and just keep adding things in, taking things out to them, allow them to just play out of it. And I think the biggest thing is players, as we talk with them more, as they get through the year each year, the more longer they're here, like, when I'd say Nicholas in that group, they start to understand, like, this is my role. This is what I can do. This is how I complement each other when we're on the floor. And we got a young group. So we're in the process right now of just doing that. And we're hoping, like, come February, we can make another run and just have fun with it. Like, see how far they can push themselves. I think that's the goal every time we jump out there is, like, how good can you be each game? And whether you win or lose, like, what can you improve coming back? And it's just what it is. They're young, they want it, and they have a mentality of, like, we can get better every time we play. So, like, you never know where you're going to end up in February when you're playing. It'd be fun if we get back again, Not going to lie. We went on a tour run a few years ago. If we get it going again, maybe we'll do it again. I mean, it's fun. Like, when we get going, it's fun. Nights where we're getting blown out, I'm like, well, we'll just do it again tomorrow. Okay.
Coach, certainly have a great attitude with it, and very excited to see how this group does this season in the PAC. As always, thanks for your time and good luck this season.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's always fun.
That's Geneva head women's basketball coach Michael Grinder. Stick with us. We'll have the second half of today's action coming up next on the PAC Sports Network.